sad. She was sad about it, but I helped her understand that we're not as talkative when we're on Zoom, and so she understands. But hopefully next time we can be in person, so we're more talkative, and it can be less than a 2-hour meeting turned into like a 15-minute meeting next time. So yeah, that's kind of it for CYC. There's not much to it. It's pretty dull. But yeah, love it.
Thank you. There was one last one. Candidate bios. Okay. Expect at least like a first subcommittee will have like candidate bios information released by Saturday. We're partnering up with social media to get that out. Basically, the role of the government subcommittee is going to be getting the information out. And then I know there's 3 people that have volunteered to like review the candidate bios to make sure it's not like biased in any form. And yeah, I think that's it for my subcommittee.
Awesome. Oscar, are you on Zoom?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. If you can just speak up so we can all hear you because you're coming out of my MacBook speaker.
All right. Okay, so there's not really much for my subcommittee report. But the first mental health series video should be going out sometime this week. I still have to work a bit with Bryn and decide on a date. But as soon as I know a date, I'll probably be posting it or sending a text to the group me. And then I'm still trying to figure out a next meeting date for my subcommittee so that we can start working on the environmental campaign, and then also working on an event idea that I have, which is called Taste of Topeka, but I'll be giving out more details soon when, we have a committee meeting with my committee. But that's about it.
Who's up next? Is it Mackenzie?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You can head up there.
I really should find the sheet, but that's okay. Okay, so for my committee, there's a few different things that we've got going on. So we've got a few different projects. One that we actually did quite a bit of work on just now, which was Amelia's project, which was creating little cat toys out of socks. Yeah. Baby socks, regular socks, and another person created them out of the little toe socks. That was kind of impressive for that not. But that project went really well, I thought. Amelia, do you have anything else to say about that?
Not really. Well, if you have any of the anything that you build like cat boxes or dog treats, I can keep them now, so I can, if you have any.
The next thing was Riley's project about backpack supplies. I don't think, is Riley on Zoom?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. I've kind of got an idea of what she's doing. I know she's reaching out to a few different places right now, trying to find finances for supplying it. And she basically wants to really focus on the foster care system right now, I think, and creating a backpack supply with not really food or very much clothing, but like things to do, especially with like COVID going on. So like toys, coloring books, activity books, kind of something like that is my understanding of her project right now, but she's still in the beginning stages of that. Do you know if Daniel's on one?
No, neither is Ryan.
Oh, awesome.
Sorry.
It's okay. I still haven't heard back from either one of those two about those projects. So I know Ryan has a lot on his plate at the moment, but I also know Christian wanted to join in on the human trafficking thing.
It's also not on Zoom.
Yep. And then our mental health project was the biggest project that we had going on. And that was with Oscar, and the video should be going out hopefully next week. And hopefully everyone can get their videos in. I know it's kind of been crazy. And then yesterday I got an email, before I forget about this, from the civic, hold on, let me find it. From Melissa's online, isn't it? Melissa?
Yeah.
Melissa?
Melissa, nice friend.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the Civics Unplugged project? She can hear me. Hopefully she can.
Sure. Sure. You know, I'd sort of, why don't you lead it off, Mackenzie, and I'll add in.
Oh, awesome.
We need to see someone doing it.
Yeah, I sent you the email of the video too. That I got.
Oh, Virginia.
So you need, what, you need,
Hold on, wait. Okay, so what I understand so far from the civics site, the Unplugged Fellowship Project is that it's a group of youth that have around, I think is it the world or the United States? I haven't got that far in reading. United States. And they're basically giving us the tools, training, and community to build a future American democracy. And so their focus is on a variety of different projects. The application, it's from January to July in 2021. And the admissions is now open, and it's open until November 30th. And then, yep, that's what my understanding so far. Melissa, you want to take that over? I don't.
Sure, no, that's great. They just started this a couple of years ago, and the young people in the fellowship this last year created a plan for, what is it, Mackenzie, 2031, like a 10-year plan on changing democracy, believing that Gen Z, because Gen Z really from 9/11 on has very keen insights and wisdom into what's going on in the world. And they have support from Smithsonian and from National Geographic. I think like they have about $1 million so far behind them. So it's kind of a big deal. Didn't it look like it on that video, Mackenzie?
Yeah. It was.
So if anybody's interested, either you or I could share that video.
I shared it to Bryce. I don't know if he can play it without like.
right now? Did you just send it?
Yeah. Yep, here it is.
It's 4 minutes, that I remember.
4 minutes though, so you can do it later. But that way you had it. So that's all I had. It's up to you guys.
You want to see it? I can play it really quickly. Hold on. Let me pull it up here. Maybe. There it is.
For Officer Jonathan Mattingly, who was shot in the leg, says these leaked videos don't show anything substantive and that the officer still...
That's not it. Okay. Let me share my screen here real quick. And let me know if you guys can't see or hear it on Zoom. Just shout
I've
out.
been dealing with digestive issues pretty much since college. I knew I couldn't go see a doctor at this time. I found the food sensitivity test, and it looked pretty simple to do and easy. And I was like, you know what? I'm at home. I'm gonna try it. I've seen a big difference. I feel better. I feel less bloated.
I think we're watching an ad here real quick.
Yeah, I think that's not it.
It's an ad, I believe. Yeah. Here we go.
Our series of More Perfect Union aims to show that what unites us as Americans is far greater than what divides us. This morning, we look at members of the next generation aiming to do just that. Adriana Diaz introduces us to a group of teenagers, some of them too young to vote, who are working to strengthen their communities and American democracy itself.
from protesting gun violence to rallying against climate change. Generation Z has raised its voice to change the world.
I think Generation Z is the most diverse, most educated, and most interconnected generation. We have a unique perspective and a unique energy to not only change significant issues in the country, but change the systems behind the issues.
17-year-old Thanasi Delos is one of those change makers. In May 2019, he co-founded Civics Unplugged, an organization helping more than 400 students craft and fund their passion projects.
They all serve a common goal. It's to push America forward, it's to get kids more educated, and it's to serve democracy.
We've learned that we can harness the power of change, and we can take our specific and unique strengths to actually turn change into action.
16-year-old Noor Ryan wanted to give her peers a productive outlet after COVID-19 canceled summer plans. So she co-created an online civics camp.
We're all living through unprecedented times, and we figured, why not make a use out of the time we have at home?
18-year-old Harvard freshman Tarina Ahuja wanted to see more empathy in public policy. So she started a think tank called the Greater Good Initiative,
working to write nonpartisan policy in the areas of education, public health, economy, civil rights, and environment.
And these are teenagers writing policy for the U.S. government?
Yes, and we have like 70-page briefs. You take the raw and genuine passion of young people, you pair that with the resources, and then after that, you have a supernova of action.
17-year-old Kentuckian Zoe Jenkins saw vital lessons missing from her education. So she wrote her own curriculum to teach students about diversity, equity, and anti-racism.
We talk about the differences between race and ethnicity and really educate people on things that our education system should have already taught them. A lot of it is teaching people it's okay to not know.
Though their youth comes with advantages, it can also be used against them.
We were advocating for, increasing the number of school counselors. We got a response of, oh, you guys should set up a little bake sale and raise money. And it's like, that's not real policy change.
Do you guys think your generation gets a bad rap?
Yes, I guess we do have that reputation for being engrossed in technology, but the really cool thing is we're also using those things to achieve some of these missions, sending messages on TikTok about empathy, about social justice, about how to vote, or using Instagram and Snapchat to amplify stories that haven't been heard.
If I can cause 100, 200 kids to become inspired and start their own projects, then I think my work has been a success.
Thanasi says Civics Unplugged, which is nonprofit and nonpartisan, has partnered with major foundations, securing $1 million in pledges to support these student projects.
I'm watching you, and I have to remind myself, you're just 17 years old. You look like a veteran politician.
I think that social media and COVID has accelerated our development. We don't have time to wait till we graduate college to make change. Change needs to happen right now.
We're the generation that came of age after 9/11. We're also all coming of age during a global pandemic and a new civil rights movement that I don't think we've ever had a sense of urgency like what we're seeing right now.
And with their potential unplugged, they say their reach has no limits. For CBS This Morning, I'm Adriana Diaz.
Wow, that's an impressive group of kids.
I like how, so I wanted to know, what does Gen Z mean, the ages from 17 to 22?
Yeah.
So, because I think what I was doing at 17 to 22, not that.
Yeah.
Those guys are amazing.
I know. You also worry for them, though. They're coming out of school if you're 22 to the 24 range, and you're looking at a job market where people are losing their positions at a huge rate. The numbers just came out a few moments ago. We had 800,000 additional people applying for unemployment insurance, 26 million people on benefits right now. So you can see why they're getting involved.
Yeah, interesting to see, too, that the point they make that the coronavirus makes them feel they need to accelerate things.
Yeah.
You know, the urgency, and they feel it strongly.
All right.
Is there with a look at what's at stake.
I am looking very forward to the debate. President Trump has both praised his Democratic opponent's debate experience.
That's another meeting. All right, Zoom, can you guys still hear us? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not reassuring. Can you guys hear us okay?
Yes.
All right. Abby, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Melissa, if you're trying to talk, we cannot hear you. I know you're off mute right now.
Oh, I'm on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. No, I can hear you fine.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Is there any questions about that? All right. There we go. You're all good? Yeah. You're good.
Okay, so my subcommittee, we're pretty chill again. I'm gonna keep this brief because we don't do a whole lot. But we're working with Renee and government committee to do a series about candidate bios for the upcoming elections. And then our part of that like partnership work, social media team is gonna be in charge of like making all the posts for it and making them like super pretty and then obviously posting them. So we'll take all the information that Renee gives us and make it into a nice little post. And then we are also, so like at the end of this month, we'll be done posting like school resources and stuff like that. And then can you scroll down a little bit? And then we are also, well, and then the last thing that we're gonna be doing is like working on creating another, like whatever we're gonna be posting in November is what we'll start working on. And like mid-October, we'll start coming up with ideas for that. And like what our next monthly post idea will be. So like this month is candidate bios, and so we'll come up with November's. So do any of you have any ideas why I'm up here for what we can post in November?
I was gonna say things to do for like holidays type of
Yeah.
stuff, especially in Topeka.
I know like some businesses are gonna like do like obviously they'll have like sales going on since it'll be like Christmas season and all that. So I was thinking about doing like a post about that and local businesses that are doing. Yeah, Madison?
Yeah, it's like on the theme of like promoting local businesses. I know it's like local pumpkin factories
Mhm.
like that. A lot of people don't know about the like Halloween themed thing.
All right.
Or like haunted houses still going on as a local too.
Okay, cool. That's all I have.
All right. Awesome. Does anybody have any questions about any of the different subcommittees, what they're working on? Yeah. Starting with old business then, Leo Espinosa emailed us that opportunity. I kind of explained it a little bit in the past meeting. Those of you who wanted to be involved in it, emailed me, thank you. I sent you guys the link, hopefully. They were at capacity for when we signed up, but they may reopen it in the fall based on what their research shows, based on if they need more evidence. Or more data, I guess. And so if they do reopen it, your name will be in. That's all I have about that. Renee, I can do the next two. I want to start off with the voter coalition. Basically, the groundwork with the Shawnee County engagement, the two meetings that we had, that's kind of like the groundwork of what could lead up to it. I know, as we mentioned, that the mayor wanted to know more about the voter coalition and how and what it would look like. I feel like that will maybe be in like the future for whatever, like maybe in a year, what the government subcommittee is doing. Yeah. But for the
the Renee's Drive. Basically, any subcommittee is still open to doing that drive with the 2 Seaman High School students. Just reach out to me, so I can give you the phone number again. Yeah. TYC history, we went over it at the last meeting. Did anybody have any questions now that you've had a little bit of time to think about it? Because I know sometimes when you first hear something, you're just taking it all in. Did everything make sense? Nobody needs clarification? Cool. New business financial planning series.
Okay, so at the beginning of September, Elaine, Renee, and I met with Marilyn Stanley, who's the executive director of HCCI. And basically in that meeting, we made sure to solidify our partnership with them for the financial planning series. And that was a couple weeks ago. So since then, I've just been sending out Google Forms so that we can get questions to ask the experts at HCCI. And our first voiceovers will be filmed on October 19th, and those will be for student loans and budgeting. So after that, we'll be able to move forward. At this time, we're just looking for people who want to do the whiteboard visuals. So if you have any interest in doing that, please let me know. But other than that, everything is going on track.
Good whiteboard handing, whiteboard handwriting. Nobody wants to. All right. The cool thing about that is you can film it at your home if you have a whiteboard and you have a good camera. DA board. Yes, I love that how you present the whole meeting.
So I'm gonna keep it pretty short because nothing's really changed since last time, but the ball is rolling a little bit more than it was. I've been in contact with him, and right now we're just trying to decide what we want to do and trying to plan a meeting that works for everyone. As far as that, that's pretty much all that I have. Is we're just trying to plan a meeting right now and a meeting with him to get some more clarification. Exactly. So yeah.
Perfect. Forge director, you met her earlier. Her name is Kelly Maydew. For those of you who were on the commission last year, she replaced Lindsay Lavon, who moved over to a different job in Topeka. So Kelly is now our contact. So if you're ever trying to get in contact with somebody at the Greater Topeka Partnership, it would be beneficial for you to CC her. So one, she knows what's going on within the Youth Commission, and two, because she works at the partnership, she is the person that's kind of in between the Youth Commission and the partnership, where under her, you could say, she is the adult that we would go to. So it's really a partnership between us and Greater Topeka Partnership, and she's that link to the Greater Topeka Partnership. So if you're trying to get in contact with somebody and you're having a really hard time, contact her. If you're having a really big event and you need somebody to make sure that all the details are being taken care of, the Forge's whole mantra is events. They do events all the time, hundreds a year. So if you need somebody to look over events, that's a really good person. Forge really has everything that we do. So if you need ideas for social media, email her. She's super nice, super kind, and she's there to help us. So please keep her in the loop on any important emails that you're sending, and communicate with her. The census, there's really nothing, well, there is. Do you guys know what the census is? Okay. Please make sure your family has filled it out. It is super, 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 super important. I believe they took off all the citizenship questions because that was a scare. Yeah.
This is what we talked about in TCYC.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different reasons why people don't fill out the census. Some of it's because they're scared to do it or they don't understand what it is, which are all valid things. But it really does help Topeka when we fill it out correctly because it bases the numbers in Topeka base how much money we get for Topeka, right? And so it also bases where that money goes. So if we have an inaccurate representation of what our population is, then we're gonna have an inaccurate disbursement of the money, if that makes sense. So please make sure you and your families have filled it out and encourage friends to fill it out. It's been kind of on the back burner since COVID started. We, in March, were like ramping up and then COVID hit and we were like, oh, let's focus on other things. And now it's coming down to the deadline again. So we're really trying to push it out. But I know there's a lot of things going on. So is there any questions about the Forge Director or census? Okay. Topeka Community Foundation grant, did you want to talk about it?
Okay, there was something I missed earlier. So at the last meeting, when we were coming up with a name, you guys were expressing interest in applying for it. And the foundation said that any youth that's applying for it has to have support from an outside organization, which could be like Stugo or your school. But if you guys want to apply, the Youth Commission can't be your supportive organization. And I think that's it. Yeah, we sent all the stuff, the rubric, the application and stuff to the foundation. And once they like the head girl approves it, we're good to go.
Yeah. Use your schools or a different organization that you're a part of. I'm gonna insert the things that I needed to talk about. Membership. So one of my jobs is to make sure everybody is engaging, and yeah. So not my favorite part, but as the chair, I would like to recommend the removal of Kylie Richardson. I have not been able to contact her. I've emailed her, called her, emailed her parents, texted her parents, texted her, cannot get a hold of her. And it wasn't just last month, it's been really since everything started. And so she is now negative on point wise, which is kind of where we judge. After you're at negative, it's time to do something about it. And so with that, that is my recommendation. We do have to vote on it. I can't just cross people off unless there is a huge issue that the TYC is in danger. But that is my recommendation. Would anyone like to motion? I don't feel pressured. That's just my recommendation. If somebody else feels that I am correct, I guess. Really, don't make it personal. It's just she hasn't been engaged in 4 months. So instead of us using our time and resources to try to get her engaged, we want to put our time and resources into all of you that are 100% involved. So, yes. Motion. Motion by Renee. Second by Lorraine. Is there any discussion? Any questions? Yeah.
Are you the only one that like gets to recommend that?
No. So if you look in your binder, anybody can make a recommendation or a motion at any time in the meeting. So yeah. If there's somebody, basically at any point in any meeting, anybody can recommend. There's a certain way you have to do a look at the sheet. It has the Robert's Rules of Order and everything, which is what most meetings use. But it just has to get a first, a second, and then discussion like we're doing now, and then a vote. So, any other questions or discussion? We have to vote on that? Yes. We will just do it. Zoom people, you can use reactions. It's like in the bottom corner, you can push reactions, and then you can either raise a hand or give a thumbs up, both work. Is there anybody opposed to the removal of Kylie Richardson from the Youth Commission? And we'll just start with the Youth Commission. From the Youth Commission. Okay. She is also involved in the Topeka TCYC, Top City Youth Council. Same thing, recommendation to remove her from the TCYC. She is in District 7. Yeah. So anybody in District 7 may possibly have an opening after we vote. Same process, I recommend for the same reasons as before. Is there motion by Harley? Second by Shay. Anybody opposed? Awesome, thank you. That is all we needed for that. Yeah.
Are we gonna bring on like 2 new members?
So in order to bring on a new member, they would have to fulfill a vacancy in District 7. So if you know somebody that lives in District 7, then we could fill the vacancy with somebody. But how our bylaws are stated is in order for us to add somebody not during our election period, they have to be filling a vacancy, whether that be increasing our diversity or filling a spot like that. That makes sense? Yeah. Okay. The other thing is a survey that I need you all to take. I don't want to spend time to take it right now. I was going to make us take it all before we left, but it's like 40 questions long, and we all have things we need to do and places we need to be tonight, I think. So what it is Momentum 2022. Some of them are easy questions, like your name, okay? It'll take 10 minutes. Momentum 2022 program in Topeka under the Topeka partnership that is moving the city forward. This is kind of the halfway point for it. You guys should have little handouts. Maybe they didn't make it in this year. Basically, it's the improvement plan for Topeka and how we are progressing in 5 different areas of Topeka, making Topeka a better place for everyone to live, work, play, do business in. So there's 5 different pillars of it. And last time they did a survey, they got no youth response, which is fine, except for we live here too, and we want to be able to shape how our city is going to look. So we really need to help them out by filling that out how you see fit. Okay? So I will send the link in the group chat, and if you can all just promise me you're going to fill it out and share it with your friends, put it on like your story or something, because it looks really long, but it's really not that long, and it shapes how Topeka is. And so if you have a bunch of 40-year-olds telling you what you want to see move to Topeka, you might not be happy with the results, and then you're going to be like, Topeka sucks. We don't want that. So that is that. Letter to self. So 6 months through, if you can believe that, we're halfway through. October is halfway to our reset. Actually, I think it's March to April, May, June, July, August, September. It's this month. This month is halfway through the Topeka Youth Commission's year. So during this next month, I'm going to try to meet with you all one-on-one, just kind of see how we're doing, how we're moving on. It'll be Zoom, super informal. Takes like 5 minutes. But I just want to have that meeting with you, see where you're at, see what we can do to help engage you more, see where we're going maybe next year, if you have plans for next year yet. If you don't, that's totally fine. But just trying to get a head start on that. And then part of that will be a letter to yourself, because what we see is that really April and May are really good with engagement, because you're just on the new youth commission, you're feeling good, and then summer hits and some people like ramp up engagement and some people lower engagement because summer, some people have more time, other people are like, no, it's break. And then we usually have to have a coming together talk in August, September. And then that usually ramps it back up, and then it slowly goes down to Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then after Thanksgiving and Christmas is January, and senioritis kicks in for everybody, even if you're a freshman and you just want to get done with school 6 months from now, and we see engagement go down. And so the letter to self is like something for a motivation that you can read to yourself, and you'll be surprised about how much it helps. So I will talk about that more when we do our one-on-ones though. So that was really just a one-on-one thing. Any questions about anything we covered during the meeting?
It's not something we covered, but are we still doing those podcasts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, every Tuesday. I think it's 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I think they start at 6.
Yeah, I think the art walk comes tomorrow.
Yeah.
This isn't in the meeting either, but you know how you said they were picking up boxes today?
Yeah.
My box is still on my step.
So is mine.
That's a good point. Did anybody have their boxes picked up today? Because you did? You haven't? Not today, but okay. For the 4 of you that were setting them out on your porch today, did they get picked up?
No.
Okay.
And I also didn't have enough like hair ties for the
Yeah,
camera, but
me
I had
too.
extra like masks. They just told me to leave them in the box.
Okay. I will send another email tonight because she emailed me and said they were going to be picked up today, but none of you got a pickup. So I'm assuming they just got busy. But I will follow up. And I'll probably CC all 4 of you.
Does she have anyone like, can we just take them somewhere?
I don't know.
Just like drop them off?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I will follow up and CC you all. For those of you who are here, I have is there any other questions before I go on to announcements? Okay. For those of you who are here, I have name tags for you. They're pretty cool looking. If you were on the youth commission last year, you don't get another one unless your name changed, but none of you have changed your names in the past year. So if there's a misspelling, please let me know. We'll get you a new one. For the most part, I think I had all of you verified before, and we're just now getting them because of COVID. So for those of you that are here, your name tags are here. For those of you who either do not have your binder or are on Zoom right now and do not have your name tags, Washburn University, I am there Thursdays from, we'll say 12:15 to 5 on most Thursdays. This Thursday's an exception because I have the video filming. But I will be in person on Washburn's campus on Thursday afternoons. And if a Wednesday afternoon works better for you, I am also there Wednesday afternoons. And if the mornings work better for you, I am also there for like an hour increment in between classes some mornings. So I really want to get all these out to you so you can start wearing them to meetings. Typically we would have more in-person meetings, so they would be more important, but still cool to have. And we paid for them and you get them for free, so you might as well get them. And if you don't have your binder, that's like 6 months overdue. So love to get that to you. Anybody have anything that we need to talk about? Yeah.
So I wasn't in person at the last meeting, and I know you handed out like face masks.
Yeah. Harley asked about the face masks. I have lots of them. So if you still want a face mask and you didn't get one, they're up here. If you want more face masks, they're up here. We asked for 25 and we got like 125. So face, if you have friends that need face masks for whatever reason, here we go. I'll just leave them up here and you can come grab them. But these will be at Washburn too if you ever need them. Any other questions, stuff that I'm missing? This was a shorter meeting. Cool. Next meeting, same place. I'm gonna reserve this room. Same time as always, fourth Monday of the month, 6 to 8. This room. I think.
Hey, Bryce.
Yeah.
Bryce. How do I raise my hand?
Go ahead and go for it.
A priority for everyone visiting the library. Is to wear your face mask, covering your nose and mouth at all times during your visit. The distance between each other, and wash your hands frequently.
Okay. Now I think you're good. Sorry, we had a little announcement there.
Am I on, Bryce?
You're good to go.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, first announcement-wise, I wanted to thank McKinsey for presenting that about that opportunity for the National Fellowship. A little bit about it. McKinsey was asking like how much time it would take. And I did find out that Monday evenings, it starts in January and goes through May for the training, and then the whole thing's over on the 4th of July, I think. But the Monday night is when it is amazing technology, let me tell you. You all would learn so many different kinds of technologies that they're doing to have 400 people being involved in this thing. But Monday night is about an hour, and they do the whole group on Monday night. And then the rest of it's kind of optional during the week. There's a thing on Saturday and all sorts of different optional stuff. I think the thing that would fit with what you all are doing, it really teaches systems change. In other words, you know, like if you were going to, I know there's a lot of interest in environment, for instance, and the policies and really being able to enact policies for change in environment stuff. And of course, I'm so interested in school reform and changing that. And there would be a lot of mentors and resources that you would have contact with at the national level. So it's really a pretty cool opportunity. And my hope is that we have about 12 Kansans that will apply. I do have one Topekan that's interested, but we need to show nationally what we can do. So it would be good support for what you're doing. And again, thank you. It was fun to see your meeting. Lots going on, you all. I'm really excited about the Community Foundation thing too.
Thank you. I think we have some.
Awesome. Thanks for letting me join you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming. I think we do have some interested members in joining that. What is the best way to get them involved? Should they contact you or just fill out a form somewhere? Or contact McKinsey?
Sure. I mean, it's Civics Plugged, Civics Unplugged. And you could go online and see the they have rolling applications. So if you'd apply now, you'd find out really soon whether or not you were accepted. And then they keep going until I think like, I can't remember when it's over, November, at the end of November, McKinsey. And then you have until December to really decide and confirm for the second semester.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Perfect. One other announcement. My last announcement, unless anybody else has anything. I realized that with COVID, our training has got thrown out the window. And so I don't feel as connected to all of you as we usually would be, which is okay. It's not okay, but under the circumstances, we're making it through just fine. If any of you feel like you would benefit from a training, let me know what topics you would want, and I can just rent a room in the library and we can have like a group table discussion with people even from outside the TYC. It doesn't have to be TYC related. It can be like leadership related or really any topic you want. I'd be happy to facilitate one or bring in somebody who has more experience than I do. If it's like something that like leadership, we can bring in somebody from Washburn Leadership Institute. So if you're interested in that, just let me know. I just don't want to schedule something and have 2 people show up because they feel like they have to. But even if it's just one of you wants to learn more about civic engagement, I'd love to do a one-on-one with you and help get you plugged in however we can. Cool. All right. I will send out information about the one-on-one meetups. And I think that's all I had, unless anybody else has anything to interject. Cool. Thank you guys. Have a good week. Enjoy your Monday and the fall weather that's finally here. And have a good one. Make sure you pick up your name tag before you go.
Can I take a picture?
Yeah.